If you own a fridge and you own pets, you're going to need to do this. Maybe once a year, depends how many pets you have and how much they shed. This is your fridge. At the bottom of your fridge on most refrigerators is where you have the air intake. The air intake is necessary. Why they put it on the bottom, who knows? If you have a Sub-Zero, it's going to be on top. If you have a fridge that has a freezer on the bottom, you may have to open the freezer door before you can access this panel. But this is really important that you do this. I'll show you why. Mine is not a freezer one. See if I can do it one-handed. And I haven't done this in a little while because I wanted to show you what's going on. I'm going to open the fridge door so I can see it a little better. But yeah, you see this little bottom thing? It's usually held on just with some clips. And then when you take it off, you're in for a furry delight. Let's get some light in there. Look at that. You see that fur? That's not supposed to be there, but it's going to go there because it's on the floor and it's getting sucked right in. So what you're looking at is something that should be totally clear. Now, some people will use a vacuum. I don't think you should. I think you should use I use the Swiffer dry cloths or dusting cloths. I don't want to use a vacuum. And depending on your fridge or the freezer, if it's at the bottom there, the vacuum may actually be too harsh. And this does it just fine. It doesn't have to be totally perfect. You just have to make sure that you get all this stuff off the coils. If you do use a vacuum, make sure you do it on the most gentle setting because you really don't want to be messing around there. But you can see already this fur, it's like dusty fur that'll collect on there. And I do mine pretty regularly, but it needs to be clear so that the air can go in and then circulate around and allow the fridge to operate. If you don't do this every once in a while, what's going to happen is your fridge that's going to get clogged up. Your fridge will overheat, it'll leak out. And then if you call a lot of refrigerator repair people, they won't tell you how easy it is to do this or the importance of doing it. They'll just sell you another refrigerator. So it can cost you about $2,000 to not do this for, just a couple of minutes. And again, you can see it's not perfect, but it's a lot better. And now the air is going to, oops, missed a spot. And now the air is going to be able to flow a lot easier. There is one house that I was at, and they had never done it. They're smart people, good people. They know stuff. They just didn't know this. And so they have 3 dogs, and one of them actually is a shedder, and she likes to sleep by the fridge. The amount of fur, I audibly gasped because they actually, they had a towel down on the floor. They had a service person come out and look at their refrigerator because the freezer wasn't freezing right and there was water leaking on the floor. And so they called someone to come out, and what that person did, they were very dishonest. They didn't even take the bottom panel off. They said to them, oh, that's your compressor. You're going to need a new compressor. And you know what? It costs so much that you might as well just get a whole new fridge. So that's what they were going to do. They were looking at new fridges. They wanted to get the exact same one that they had, but it wasn't available. And when I showed them, they were like, well, how did he not know that? And I was like, well, actually, I think he did. So yeah, a lot of people aren't going to be honest. And if your fridge is not functioning well, or if you've just never done this before, here's our furry monster. If you've just never done this before, then give it a shot because it can save you a lot of money and it can keep your fridge. My fridge is 20 years old. It can keep your fridge functioning for a lot longer, which who wants to buy new fridges all the time? Not me. Thanks for watching. Please like and share and follow for lots more great tips.